to TV Burp. Revealed Charles and Camilla's secret kids. Dingle's new campaign for the cheese marketing board flounders.
Cheese.
And after David Seaman is voted off Dancing on Ice, his partner gets her own back. There was a surprise appearance from Gonzo the Muppet on Emmerdale. A packet of nuts, please. And a wooden spoon shortage on EastEnders. Give me that spoon! It seemed to me that it was a slow week on Albert Square.
Am I short? Do you want a biscuit?
Not really, no. Stacey fell into a trance-like state and was transported back to a former life.
I was a cow.
You couldn't have been. You're supposed to come back as something different. Now, there are various slang words for getting pregnant, aren't there? In the family way, bun in the oven. Here's a new one from Rosie Miller.
You should give me one of them put-you-ups in your Aunt Fanny's bedroom.
Well, you should have taken precautions. While on our own Coronation Street, Eileen has stuck by boyfriend Ed, who, as you may know, murdered Emily Bishop's husband back in 1978. They were off to a party.
Come on, big boy, what do you reckon?
As long as I don't have to wear flares.
It's a 70s disco, what else are you going to wear?
How about your murderer's outfit? Flared trousers, white lapels and a stocking over your head, eh? Never mind that. What's Eileen going to wear?
I'm hoping you're going to wear a boob tube.
Oh!
Yeah, not so much a boob tube as a sleeping bag. Here, what's the one thing you should never say to a murderer?
I'm sorry, I know this all must seem a bit mad to you.
I could strangle you!
Don't give him any ideas. You might have the 30-year itch and do another one. Romance was in the air for Blanche.
It's too early in the morning to have Keith Chegwin shouting at you.
Well, you shouldn't have brought him home last night, you dirty girl. I hope you were careful. You'll end up with a put-you-up in your Aunt Fanny's bedroom. Keith Chegwin and Blanche. Imagine the kids. Oh, migraine. Migraine. Ken was enjoying looking after baby Amy.
I was reading you the Blue Pig story this morning.
What?
You know, where he gets lost in the deep, dark wood and meets a Scottish badger.
No, Kent, that was a dream you had once. That Amy, though, she's a cheerful little sparrow, isn't she?
Safe journey.
No. Cheer up, love, you're lucky to be in work. You know, when you move in with someone, there's always those little things that get on your nerves, aren't there, Norris?
How's it going, living with Emily? Isn't it irritating, that thing she does with tea bags?
I know exactly what you mean, Norris. That thing Emily does with the tea bags.
Your tea's ready!
What's this show, then? One man, one woman off EastEnders, and a house full of ghosts. That's right, it's Derek Acorah's Ghost Towns. And this time, he's in Oswestry. As ever, Derek was accompanied by Daniela Westbrook off EastEnders.
Daniela gets spooked at an ex-serviceman's club.
Yeah, not for the first time either. At one point, out of nowhere, Derek became possessed by a washing machine.
I just feel so vulnerable here. I mean, we're just out in the middle of absolutely bloody nowhere.
Nowhere, I know, and it's pitch black and no electricity.
If it goes any faster, I'd be worried about his head. So, Derek tames the ghosts, and on the way home decides to stop off and give someone a doorstep divination. And it's amazing the insights he offers to someone he's never even met before.
And she said, tell Teresa she knows she's got to go to the dentist.
She's got to go to the dentist.
She's putting it off. She's
won't putting
go.
It off.
Will you?
Yeah. And pop into the hairdressers and all while you're at it. I wonder what Frank Skinner would look like in drag.
People don't have those.
A bit like that, I suppose. Of course not. It'd be The Apprentice. Another week, another project to cock up. This time the teams had to come up with a calendar to raise money for Great Ormond Street Children's Hospital. So the fellas got straight on the job. Not of coming up with an idea for the calendar, but on a method for coming up with the idea.
So you can brainstorm ideas, right, all over the shop, OK? And you might hit, here's your target, OK?
I've seen that before somewhere. You're fired! You've just drawn a currant bun with a cherry on top. You're fired! That's one way of brainstorming. I favour the chocolate eclair method, right? Here it is. Look, that's the group, right? That's there. The cream inside. Oh, yeah, I do. And the chocolate on top. That represents a little blanket of scepticism. It's partly, too, that I just prefer eclairs to buns. So, what does Alan Sugar's representative, Margaret Mountford, think of the bun theory of brainstorming?
Can I just say something, because I've got to leave you now for a short while. I'm not desperately impressed so far by how you've been handling the task or by what you're proposing. You've got a time constraint, but you've got to sell these calendars.
OK. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Chill, Grandma. You know where she's going, don't you? She's off to get herself a bun. Yeah. You know what it's like. You see a drawing of a bun, you want a bun. I fancy a bun, and I've just had an eclair. So the lads eventually settle on themed photographs of babies for their calendar, then set about trying to sell it to the retailers. They choose Manny, who seems pretty confident he's up to the job.
I am a complete expert in presenting, and I will knock the audience flat with anything you give me. It's what I do for a living.
So prepare to be knocked flat.
Every child has a right to a full, healthy, and joyous life. In this truth, this truth we hold as self-evident.
Wow, I was knocked flat. Remember, they're selling to people who know the calendar business inside out.
I'm quite cynical about calendars because I buy lots and lots of calendars.
Sure.
10 million calendars.
Wow.
This year.
Wow.
And he still forgets his wife's birthday. Meanwhile, the girls' team, Velocity, have settled on cats. Just what we need, another calendar with cats on it. And team leader Nargis has a real way with the retailers.
Ask me any questions.
What sort of retail price do you...
I haven't finished speaking, sorry. Ask me any questions that you have, and then let's talk about how many you want.
And what sort of cost price do you imagine?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
What sort of cost price to yours do you imagine?
Well, why don't you make a suggestion to me?
She could charm the birds right out of the tree.
OK, a couple of questions. No? Sorry,
I haven't finished
There's
yet.
more. Okay. There's more.
Now you can ask me any questions.
So it's a cat calendar, but there's a problem with it.
I do think we're going to run up in problems because A, you can't use the calendar, and B, you can't even see the dates unless you literally stand on top of it.
Well, you're bound to have one or two little snags. Any other minor criticisms?
My criticism of this, personally, is that it's not a calendar.
Yeah, it's just big pictures of cats in a pad. Hang on a minute, cats? I thought this was for a children's hospital.
How do cats come to Great Ormond Street?
Walk part of the way, then get a bus? I've got the calendars here. Yeah, here we are. Here's the girls' one. Look, there's the girls' one. Posters of cats in a pad. Not terribly successful. Then there's the gents. There's it. The boys' one. Works better. Pictures of babies. But, you know, the problem I've got... This one is November. It's Amy Barlow off Corrie. That'd spoil your month, wouldn't it? That'd spoil your month. Actually, I sent one of the cat calendars off to a friend, yeah. I'll just see if he got it. Hang on. How's your cat calendar, Noel?
Very good. How's your Tuesday?
No, it's Saturday, Noel. It's Saturday. Yeah, those cat calendars. But which is better for calendars, babies or cats? There's only one way to find out. Fight! See you after the break. Welcome back. Cheeky girls make comeback on Corrie. Steph on Emmerdale, secret Harry Hill fan.
I've made it.
Oi, I do the big collars. Cameo for Pete Burns in Midsummer Murders. And after poor ratings for a primetime BBC One show, Davina McCall tries to escape. Here, what's your favourite carry-on film? I think mine must be Carry On Casualty, yeah. Especially that bit with the nun.
And frankly, sister, they're not... Stupid! Insolent!
Isn't it weird, though, when you end up looking like your bunch of flowers, eh?
Derry.
It's Footballers' Wives here on ITV1. And if you missed it this week, let's just fill you in.
I'd say that somebody paid someone to do something.
That pretty much covers it. Yeah. Similarly, if you missed Through Hell and High Water, the story of Ben Fogle's attempt across the Atlantic in a rowing boat, here's the main gist of that.
But now they have to row and row and row.
Yeah, it's rowing. For about 2 months, yeah. Oh, I know one thing. If you do decide to row across the Atlantic, it's a good idea to take your legs off and stow them in the back of the boat.
They may have a long way to
No, there was a dramatic moment when they lost their water supply, but that quickly passed and they got the water back.
Water! Water! We have water!
Yeah, as I say, they got the water back. Yeah, naturally they were quite pleased.
Water, water, water! Water, water, water!
Yeah, actually, I ordered a rum and coke. Isn't it weird when your food looks like Howard off the Halifax adverts? Extra, extra, you're my extra. Gordon Ramsay's back with his kitchen nightmares. And last week he was on the trail of Oscar's restaurant in Cheshire. Why the name Oscar? Well, it's a nod to a very well-known person.
This is cosy, nice. Who's that on the wall down there?
Who do you think it is?
It looks like a fat version of Jonathan Ross.
Fat version of Jonathan Ross? That's Paul Ross, isn't it? So it's an Oscar Wilde-themed restaurant run by Irish chef Lenin and his mum. So, what's on the menu?
Thank you. King prawn wrap, green lit mussels, soup du jour.
Oscar Wilde ribs. They sound nice. Presumably that's ribs with an Oscar Wilde slant. What's the sauce?
What's under here?
They're the ribs, which cook in Coca-Cola.
Cooked in Coca-Cola?
Yeah.
Ribs in Coca-Cola. Oscar Wilde's favourites. What else is on the menu? Well, I've got it here, look. I've got the old Oscar's menu here. Well, there's Oscar Wilde ribs, obviously. That's ribs in Coca-Cola. There's Lily Langtry pork chops. That's pork chops cooked in Fanta. There's Marquis of Queensberry steak. That's steak marinated in Tizer. And then my favourite, veal umbongo. Yeah. Which Oscar Wilde would always eat when he was in the Congo. So that's Oscar Wilde's tastes, but what does Chef Lenin like?
So you eat vindaloos, you smoke 40 cigarettes a day, a bottle of wine...
Sugar sandwiches.
Sugar what?
Sugar sandwiches. Butter the bread and dip it into the sugar bowl. Gorgeous.
40 fags a day, vindaloo and sugar sandwiches. I tell you what is nice, though. A curly-whirly in a hot dog bun with a pinch of curry powder on it. Gordon's been called in because Oscar's is failing. Doesn't anyone in Cheshire have a sweet tooth? And the bills are mounting up.
Maura's now losing £2 a week, and this place was meant to be her pension.
Woolworths? Don't tell me he's working on a new recipe. Chickenella pick and mix. With a lovely Vimto gravy.
Hey there, Harry. It's Andy Peters here from Dancing on Ice Extra. Now, have you ever noticed how Matthew King on Emmerdale, he always likes to announce when and where he's going to the loo?
Jimmy in the office. No!
There's a new vet on Emmerdale, and he's really got the hang of it.
So what's the verdict?
Well, they're dead.
Nice to see all that training's paid off. It's interesting how sheep position themselves when they die, like the numbers on a dice, to help you to count them up. Yeah, there were 5 dead on Emmerdale this week.
What do you think could have caused it?
Well, I guess it was pneumonia. Yeah, there were 6 down on a neighbouring farm. And 9 just down the road. So what killed the sheep?
What's going on? Sounding serious on the phone. It's antifreeze.
Antifreeze?
I've had the lab on. The tests have shown up traces of ethylene glycol in the animals. It's used in antifreeze.
You don't put antifreeze in sheep. That's why they got those woolly coats. I know what you're thinking. You're watching Emmerdale thinking, are those real dead sheep or live sheep playing dead? Well, in fact, the roles of the sheep are played by some of our finest actors. Have a look.
And cut. That's a wrap.
Is that all right?
Yeah,
you finished, Jimmy? All right.
Yeah,
Oh, well, that's it.
Hey, come on, Peter.
Yeah, let's go down Woolly Day for quite the sherbet. Good day's work. Yeah,
Is it me, or do you meet some strange people on holiday?
And I decide to call them when I wake, when I eat, when I make pee-pee, and when I go to sleep.
Hello? Did you? Yeah. Well, remember to put the seat down. This was Time, fronted by Michio Kaku.
I've spent most of my life studying time, and I know it's one of the greatest mysteries in all of nature.
Yeah, get on with it. We haven't got all day. Let's hear your insights into time, then.
I constantly think of the past and the future, but I know that I live in just one time, and that is the present.
Is that it? It's taken you a lifetime to come to that conclusion.
Even in a completely empty environment.
Oh, good, he's died. Actually, this programme wasn't so much about time as about the perception of time. A perception, it seemed, that could be altered by drugs.
Next, the rat on cocaine.
Yep, that's a cocaine rat. He's just trying to turn that music off. Turn it off, turn it off. Where's the button? Where's the button to turn it off? Turn it off. Then there was the marijuana rat. He's pretty laid back.
The rat on marijuana.
Rat fans. Then the rat that was just on saline.
The rat, given saline only, does this task...
He's just a bit thirsty, that one, yeah. Can I have a rum and coke? Can I have a rum and coke? They did some other experiments. Yeah, there was a family of squirrels who were fed solely on port. There was another one as well, a rat that had been exposed solely to hours of Emmerdale. Gina was back at Sunhill. Where's she been? Well, she was supposed to have been in Australia, but it turned out she'd just been hiding in her office.
Excuse me?
But it was as fast-paced as ever on the bill this week.
Caroline Rogers. She suffered an angina attack this morning. She's aged 76. Medics say it's more than likely due to the stress caused by having her handbag stolen by you.
That girl was a nasty piece of work. She was constantly trying to provoke trainee policewoman PC Emma Keane.
Do you have any idea how much trouble you're in? Do you know how hard the courts are going to come down on you?
This is what I think of your courts, and this is what I think of you.
Yeah, it didn't end there.
This is what I think of your courts, and this is what I think of you.
Come on, girls, pack it in.
What's that?
Right, that does it. That's all we've got time for. Good night.
Well, your Saturday night continues on ITV1 as 5 more talented youngsters head through the famous stores. Stars in Their Eyes Kids is next. Then it's the one we've all been waiting for. Torval and Dean will recreate television gold dancing the bolero. But can our stars match the magic? It's the Dancing on Ice final at 6:50, with Millionaire later at 8:10.